Alright guys, we have reached the semifinals of the Tiriac Open, or however you say that word, in Bucharest, or Bucharest, whatever, in Romania. But before getting to those semifinals, a few words about the Miami final, in which the 19-year-old Jakub Mensik won the first title of his career by defeating the greatest player of all time, Novak Djokovic, in the final in straight sets. I got this prediction wrong, along with many other people who thought that Djokovic would win, and he was the favorite to win. I didn't think that Mensik would win because of the fact that he had never won a title before in his career. So I thought that Djokovic's experience would just be too much in this case, but I was wrong. Had Mensik won a title in his career prior to this final, though, I may have actually picked him to win. But nonetheless, it was not really a bad prediction to pick Djokovic to win, because most people thought he would win. He was the favorite, and it was the kid had never won a title before. It was his first Masters 1000 final too, and his second final at ATP Tour level. So it was quite impressive for the kid to win that match, to win his first tournament against the GOAT. Nonetheless, it was still a close match, despite it being straight sets. It most certainly could have gone either way. Both of these sets were tiebreak sets. So Mensik won 7-6, 7-6, 7-4 in both of those tiebreaks. Had a few of those points in the tiebreaks gone Djokovic's way, he easily could have been the one who won this match in straight sets. But you have to give credit to Mensik because he was very good in tiebreaks for the entire Miami Open. He played 6 or 7 tiebreaks and won all of them. In his match against Jack Draper in the second round, Draper, who just won Indian Wells, he also beat Draper in 2 tiebreak sets. I think it was like 7-2 and 7-3 or something like that. And then he did the same to Djokovic, 2 tiebreak sets. And also in the semifinals against Taylor Fritz, it was a 3-set match, but I believe both of the sets that Mensik won were tiebreaks. The first set and the final set, he won both of those in tiebreaks. So the kid is very good in tiebreaks, and that is in no small part due to his serve. He has a very good serve, very powerful serve. He can get a lot of free points with it, aces and unreturned serves. His second serve is actually a lot slower than his first serve, but his first serve is very good, a big weapon, which can lead to him having a fairly high floor, and he is clutch in these tiebreaks. He out-clutched Djokovic. He out-clutched him. He really did that. In 2 tiebreaks, he came up with the big serves. He didn't make unforced errors or many unforced errors in the rallies. He was consistent, and that's it. You make a couple big serves, you get 1 lucky point. Djokovic makes a couple mistakes. That's it. The tiebreak is yours. So you have to give credit to Mensik because he is really good in tiebreaks. He's kind of like a serve bot, but like a serve bot 2.0. A serve bot who can actually move well from the ground and can actually rally well. He actually moves pretty well for his height. He's probably like 6'4" or something like that. He was moving pretty well. It seemed that it's not that easy to get the ball past him because, yeah, he has a huge wingspan like serve bots do, but he can also move side to side. It felt like he could just reach the ball with relative ease, and he was not making too many unforced errors. So just very, very tough to deal with. And now we can say that he is better than Fonseca. Yeah, he is a year older, but given that he has just won this title, Masters 1000 title, and beating Djokovic in the final, it's pretty fair to say that he is better than Fonseca now. maybe Fonseca can become better than him. It's probably even kind of silly to compare them this early in their careers when they're still teenagers, but as of now, he is technically better than Fonseca by achievements, but he is a year older. So again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter to compare them at this super early stage anyway. It's just kind of funny how there's another kid who is technically better than him by achievements at this point. But yeah, that doesn't really matter. Anyway, moving on to the semifinals in Bucharest. So the defending champion, Marton Fucsovic, however you say his name, is still alive here. He has made his way to the semifinals, where he will take on the top seed Sebastian Baez, who is a very strong clay court player, has already won like 6 clay court titles in his career. He won in Rio earlier this year and made the final in Santiago. So the head-to-head between these two players is 1-love to Baez. They faced once, which was on clay in Lyon 2 years ago, and Baez won straight sets, but this was a close match, 6-4, 7-6, so I will not take much away from this head-to-head record. I will actually go with Fucsovic to win this match, to win this semifinal match in straight sets. It seems that he loves playing at this tournament. He has now won 8 matches in a row. When you add like 8 or 9 matches in a row, when you add the title, the matches that he won on his way to the title last year. So it seems that he really likes playing at this tournament, and I think he can make it another final here, back to back, even though he is playing the top seed Baez, who is a very strong clay court player. He did play him tight in that one match they played, so I do believe that he can defeat him. And he has looked pretty good in his last match. He won 6-love, 6-4 against O'Connell. O'Connell is not a very strong clay court player, but still, that is a very dominating performance. And I just think he really loves this tournament, hungry to get back to the final. He had a little beef with Baez in their meeting, actually. Nothing major, of course, but he was just kind of annoyed that Baez kept saying "vamos" on every point that he won when Fucsovic kept making mistakes, and he's like, yo, shut up, these kids play so unfair. So that was kind of funny. The funny part of that exchange was Fucsovic was talking to Baez in a changeover, and he was like, are you 12? And then Baez was just like, no, 22. He just answered that like so normally. It was almost like he didn't even know that Fucsovic was actually obviously being just sarcastic and making fun of him a little bit there. It was just funny how he was so unbothered by the whole thing. He was like, no, 22. So that was pretty funny. You can find that on X or somewhere online. But yeah, I think Fucsovic can win this one. So I'm going to make a bit of a bold prediction. Not super bold, because he is the defending champion. He has looked good, and he has won 8 matches in a row at this tournament. But I'm going to have Fucsovic win this in straight sets. Will I be surprised if Baez wins? Of course not. He's the top seed. He has won 6 titles on clay already, so you can never be surprised if Baez wins. But I'm going to go with Fucsovic here. Just Baez, he has looked solid during this tournament, but he has lost a set in both of his matches, so he can certainly be beaten. Of course, well, anyone can be beaten. So yeah, he has not looked impeccable. He's just looked solid enough, clutch enough in the final sets to get the win. But I will have Fucsovic winning this in straight sets. Obviously, Baez can win. I will not be surprised at all. But Fucsovic in straights is my official prediction. And then we have the second semifinal, which is the 3rd seed Flavio Cobolli against the Bosnian Damir Zumha, who advanced after the 2nd seed Pedro Martinez retired after losing the first set against Zoomer 6-1 and being down 2-love in the second. He retired. So Zoomer is through to a semifinal. I don't know when the last time Zoomer was in a semifinal at ATP Tour level, but here he is. He has been on the tour for quite some time. Former top 20 player, I believe, and he's found his way back into another semifinal. Cobolli has not been in many semifinals recently either. He has not won many matches in a while now, maybe like a few months or so. But he has also managed to get his way to the semifinals. Still a relatively young guy, 22-year-old Italian. These players have never faced each other before, so when you've never faced each other, it's difficult to predict who is going to win that, because you don't know how these players will adapt to each other's games. I think this is maybe a 50-50 match, because Cobolli, he has not won many matches recently. He has sort of found his form in this tournament, but it was only 2 matches that he played. He played Gasquet in the first round. Gasquet, who is about to retire at the French Open, I believe. He is about 39 or 40 years old, or 38 years old, I guess, almost 39. And Cobolli, he lost a set against him. I mean, Gasquet, he's a veteran, so it's not a huge shame, but he is about to retire, so there is also that. But, these guys, when they're about to retire, they can still get a couple wins, so it's not anything massively to be ashamed of or anything like that. And then Cobolli just beat a qualifier, the Austrian Filip Misolic, in the quarterfinals in straight sets. So he has won 2 matches, but you can't say that he's back to his best or anything like that, because it's not like it was the most impressive thing to beat a retired player in a qualifier. So he can certainly lose against Zoomer. I will not be surprised at all if that happens. But Zoomer himself has not really done anything at ATP Tour level for years, maybe. So he's not the most reliable guy to pick in these matches either. And that's why I think this match is maybe 50-50. But I will just give my slight edge to Cobolli, perhaps just because of the ranking difference. And I will have Cobolli winning this in 3 sets. But I will not be surprised at all if Zoomer wins. So both of these matches, I think, anything can happen. It's hard to predict in situations like this, in these small tournaments. But my official predictions will be that Fucsovics defeats Baez in straight sets and Cobolli defeats Zoomer in 3 sets. And we will have a final between Marton Fucsovics, the defending champion, and the 3rd seed Flavio Cobolli. But this can be completely wrong, and it can be the complete opposite, and I will not be surprised at all. But you have heard my official prediction here.